so good.
Dude, that is amazing. That
기존에
is
먹었던
so
쌀라미하고
artisanal.
다른 맛이야. 굉장히 완성도가 높습니다.
That's why we make it by hand, man.
와, 와. 굵기가 한 요만큼 되네요, 요만큼. 대전 성심당. 네, 그 빵이라고 하네요.
Sourdough. Welcome to Eating What Is Given, a channel dedicated to exploring every corner of Korea to discover the best food experiences you can find. Please subscribe to support our channel. Right now, we're in the middle of our matchip road trip across Korea, and I'm sure there will be surprises along the way that you don't want to miss. With Gangwon-do behind us, it was time for us to continue our road trip across Korea. Jirisan is mainland Korea's largest mountain, and the changing fall leaves are spectacularly beautiful. But beyond its sheer size and beauty, Jirisan is also hiding some of Korea's most delicious and unique foods. And in this episode, I want to highlight one of the most surprising meat shops in all of Korea: Korean, domestically made, dried, and cured meats. Last year, I became friends with Andy, a South African who immigrated to Korea 7 years ago, who is now part owner and product designer of The Chop Shop. Using Jirisan black pork, a brand called Berkshire K, they make an array of traditional cured meats and sausages. Hamon, salami, pepperoni, koppa, and pancetta are only some of the meats you can find curing in their state-of-the-art aging facilities. Today, I am so excited for this video. It's a video I've wanted to do for a long time. A couple months back, Courtney and I came to this place just on the north side of Jirisan. It's called The Chop Shop. So in this tiny little village in Korea, they are making world-class cured meats, salami, hamon, prosciutto, using K Berkshire Korean bred pigs. This is like real deal charcuterie made in Korea using Korean ingredients. So excited to show you guys what they're all about. Chung-Yuk Kwang is going to join us, and we're actually going to learn how they make salami today. It's going to be an amazing video. When Andy invited me to his shop to learn how they made their signature salami, I knew I had to invite another old friend along for the trip. So I called Chung-Yuk Kwang, also known as Meat Creator, who I knew would love spending the day learning about one of Korea's most unique meat products. Chung-Yuk Kwang is one of Korea's premier meat-based YouTubers, and if you don't know him yet, you should. Be sure to check out his channel for deep information about all things meat-related. We're ready to go. We're about to enter the processing room. Today we're gonna learn how they make salami. Real, authentic salami. I even saw online they're using the penicillin to get that cheesy flavor out of it. That's gonna be awesome. So the first step in making the salami was measuring the ingredients. Cloves, garlic, coriander, pepper, and salt are mixed with a few curing agents. I was surprised to see whole, unground spices being used. We ground the spices fresh just before adding them to the meat, which must have a huge impact on the flavor. So we're good. Have you ever made a batch with you forgot one ingredient?
Sure. That's why I'm double checking now, because
Next, Andy and I went about breaking down quarters of Jirisan raised Berkshire K. As many long-term subscribers know, I used to work in my family's butcher shop back home, so I couldn't help but feel a little less homesick next to Andy cutting meat into chunks before sending it to the grinder. Beautiful white fat. So beautiful. I feel like I could eat that.
There's like marmalade and all that.
Now, the Chop Shop usually uses 700 kilograms of meat at a time when making their salami, But today we needed to make only a small batch of 70 kilograms. Next, the Berkshire K goes into the grinder to create a coarse texture, and the fat is mixed carefully with the pieces of lean meat for even distribution. Next, the meat is mixed for an hour along with all of the spices and ingredients. The curing agents chemically break the meat down into a sticky paste, which is a crucial step in making the salami.
Kind of individual, yeah. And it's gonna be super sticky. Wow, yeah.
Okay.
You see?
Ah, yes, it's sticky.
Yeah. See, this is how you know it's ready because it sticks to your hand.
Sticks to your hand.
It was about this time when Chung Yuk-wang made it to the shop. It was so great to see an old friend who once introduced me to the Mahjong market in Seoul. I was happy that I could repay his kindness and invite him today.
Yep.
Wow. That's the way to do it. Amazing. All right, make sure you're not standing otherwise. Okay, so not fast. Yeah, we're trying to make this slow because if it's really fast, it's gonna mix up the meat inside here, and then we're gonna get the same problem with the fat, right? So you're trying to do it as slow as possible. Nice.
wow. 슬로우. 천천히 넣어야지 꽉꽉 넣어줘. 와우. 굵기가 한 요만큼 되네요. 올려주면서.
So long.
Alright. Right. And then as you take it up, you can twist it. Wow.
Next step was admittedly the most fun. The meat is placed into a huge stuffing machine. Andy and Chung Yuk-wang seem to have no trouble, but admittedly I struggled a bit. It's a lot harder than it looks.
Nice and tight. How's that?
Don't burn, sorry.
I blame my grandpa. My grandpa never let me use the stuffer. He never let me use the stuffer. There you go. Oh shit, she's better than me. Tighter.
Tighter.
I think better than me.
Okay.
Courtney, good job.
Now that the meat was hung and labeled, it was time for the most crucial step, waiting. First, the meat is fermented for 3 days in a controlled room. Finally, the meat is hung up to dry for 3 months in a room precisely controlled for humidity and temperature.
So you can see the difference. Wow. Wait, that was the same size? Same size.
여기 안에 자르면
네.
습기
습기.
먹으면 습기 있는지 알잖아요.
네네네.
근데 그거는 그 습기 있는 거 소금이랑 당이랑 섞으면서 박테리아 먹을 수 없어요.
Luckily, Andy brought out some salami that was already cured for us to taste.
Because we ground it pretty rough, right?
Yeah.
So you get the spices in there, you get the fat pieces, and then you get all that good lean meat that we did.
And when you bend it, like it doesn't fall apart. Like
Yeah.
it's
It's
that's because we mixed it, right? We mixed it really hard, so it's like really. It's a good texture.
Oh, no.
No, I just know she'll love you. She'll love it. Dude, that is amazing. That is so artisanal. Guys, this salami, there's all kinds of spices in here. You can see the big chunks, the way we grind it, you can see the individual fat. But as he said, as you bend it, it stays together. It's almost like a familiar, like Middle Eastern type spice.
I think it's the coriander.
Coriander, clove, black pepper. It's not too salty, really sour. Wow, it's nice. It's so nice. 맛있어요?
A little bit sour.
아,
이거 예. 고수씨 향하고
이거
그리고 클로브 향. 그래서 향신료 향이 되게 좋아요. 네, 여러 가지 복합적인 향이네.
Same recipe. Same recipe, just with penicillin.
Yeah. With penicillin.
So guys, this is the same recipe. It's just sprayed with penicillin mold. It's probably gonna age it, and it has the smell of red wine. It smells like red wine to me. Yeah. Actually, it surprises me that they're the same recipe. Wow. Actually, it's not salty.
나솔티. 생각보다 별로 안 짜요. 맛있다. 잠봉도 되게 맛있어요.
Wow. Wow. Really good. Actually, I'm really surprised. Both are not too salty. Sometimes it's too salty, but wow.
요거는 성신이 대전 성심당 그 빵이라고 하네요.
Sourdough.
사우도우에다가 해가지고 이렇게 한번 먹어보도록 하겠습니다. We need whole grain mustard.
Yeah. What's most shocking to me is the prosciutto. When you have it in Europe, it's so salty, almost too salty. But here, it's more of a nutty flavor.
Working together and now eating together, I could feel true friendships strengthen. This is the power of food. It took us about 9 hours of work to complete the process, but now it was time to enjoy dinner together. Outside, in the beautiful, clean Jirisan mountain air, I prepared all the banchan while Chung Yik-kwang cooked the meat.
Pork fried mushrooms. Chung Yik-kwang made some delicious looking pork belly mushrooms. Pork fat mushrooms, oh my god. And we got pork belly. I made, this is my recipe, my muchim recipe. Okay. Let's try. So this is Berkshire K? Berkshire K, okay. Ooh, that's really nice clean taste. This is Ogapi. Ogapi 알아요? Ogapi 장아찌.
와우.
And JP ip. JP ip with 쌈.
쌈.
진짜 맛있어요.
오,
JP ip.
먹어봐야겠다.
Okay.
I'll try this.
너무 좋아요.
느낌이 좋아요. 예. From Jeju. 무침 좋아요? Ah, it's my secret recipe.
완전 코리안 스타일.
Korean style. We have a gift. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. From the abyss. Here for the camera. Look. Wow, this is awesome. Oh my god, we've got garlic cheesy bread. Samgyeopsal sandwich.
와 삼겹살 샌드위치.
Yeah, samgyeopsal sandwich. I'm gonna try the bratwurst.
뭔가 이상하다.
Wow. Here we go. Wow.
Hey.
Oh, Andy.
Like that, man?
It reminds me of my family's homesickness. My homesickness is gone.
산초. This.
That's Sancho. Many Korean people, they say Sancho and JP are the same. But they're not the same.
Not the same.
This tastes very bitter. Yeah, JP has a brighter taste. And they look very different. The meat is so good. Actually very clean tasting. It's not really cheesy. These people and this memory, it will last in my mind forever. Two Americans, a Korean and a South African, sharing the same passion for good food. I thought about how food can tie us all together. And suddenly you realize that the people surrounding you are some of the best on this earth. It was a spectacular night and a great beginning to the second half of our road trip.